And we're not done because OpenAI said I had to create a mock-up of 50 or a prototype of 50 so we can make sure it's good. And then it said that it will work for 24 or 48 hours to give me the list of 500 plus that I requested.
In the background?
Yes,
Wow.
yes, absolutely.
Welcome. It's so good to see you guys to this episode of AI Because, the podcast that it's so interesting because we're on this journey of discovery and exploring all the stuff that's happening in the space, and it's explosive is probably a really great word to describe it. And it's cool to sink in with you guys to say, what are you seeing in your space? Because I don't think any one human could track even the majority of it, or even 50% of what's happening. So it's good to be in the room with you. I'd love to hear what you've been up to these last couple weeks. Michael, kick off with you.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's not going to be human to can catch up with even the information of what's happening. And that's going to be AI again, which is going to be sorting and sifting and getting what you need to know is either whatever, if you're looking for something local, something, a certain marketplace or certain industry that you're interested in. So yeah, I definitely see that.
I love it. And today's your birthday, so happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
Greg,
Yeah.
Greg, how about you?
Well, I've been, kind of passing information across platforms a little bit the last week, and I've taken some, an industry I know nothing about, which is importing and exporting wine. And so I started off with a business plan with chat.
That sounds like a fun industry, by the way. But
Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah.
Lots of fun.
Yeah, I started off with chat and actually, was quite content with what came out. And then I got this brilliant idea of taking all this data and putting it into Grok. And then I took the same data and put it into Gemini 2.5. And it was actually a little bit mind-blowing because I don't know if there's competition there because it was obviously a chat summary and bullet notes, and Gemini especially. I mean, some of the numbers that it presented, like I was not prepared. I truly was not prepared for the information that I got. So it was really cool.
So what are you going to do with that?
I don't know yet, but it was a really fun exercise. Well, I was looking at business models and so it was just something that, there was a bottle sitting there. So let's look at this, right? And so the idea was that scenario could be done in so many different industries. And the information that you can get within a couple hours is totally mind-blowing.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting you say that. We're getting ready for the first Copilot course we're going to have, right? The 6-hour virtual training with 2-hour chunks. And so part of that is building out the business, Cambria Crumbs, fully baking it out so that information is sitting on Copilot for us to be able to do demonstrations, for participants to be able to access information. And there's so much out there that we're able to access and be able to tap into. So it's powerful stuff. Yeah, it's powerful stuff. How about you, Manoj? What's happening with you in your world?
Yeah, so there is a lot of updates on Copilot, which I want to share in a bit. But what I have come across interestingly in some of the recent discussions, and it came up with the recent podcast also with the CEO of Microsoft, Satya, where there's this two angles we've been talking about. So one angle on AI was that it's going to replace a lot of roles or human jobs. But then I've started hearing this other angle that there is actually a lot of shortage of professionals in many industries. So like in the US, I didn't know there was a shortage of qualified accountants, for example. There's just not enough qualified accountants, which of course then creates a lot of constraints on small and medium organizations, large organizations also. So the AI tools are going to help plug those talent gaps where we don't have those talent gaps. And what the CEO of Microsoft also said was that when somebody asked him about whether AI will replace programmers, his take was, actually in real life, organizations want to do so much in IT that they are not able to do. So a
Mm-mm.
lot of this AI capability is actually going to get deployed on those unfulfilled projects, where
Mhm.
organizations want to build these IT applications, but because they only have so many resources, they could only build 20% of what they actually want to build. That AI
Yeah.
will now allow them to go further on that wish list and get those IT projects off the ground. So that was a very interesting. I had not thought about sort of AI addressing the talent shortage in the different
Hmm.
spaces. And then also this IT that, we want to do more in IT than what we've been able to do in the past.
Well, in IT, if anyone's worked, I mean, I know corporate world, and I'm sure it's going to be the same with smaller, medium-sized businesses. I think the corporate world, it's like 13 billion to 125 billion dollar organizations that I worked for. That IT is a bottleneck, and IT is a bottleneck not just from the perspective of humans to do this
Mhm.
stuff, but budget.
Mm.
And so when you think about that kind of stuff, if we don't have to go outside to have some other agency or buy some already off the shelf product that we can internally develop solutions, it's going to be powerful. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be
And
powerful.
and he was also saying that, yeah, in many organizations, because the budget was the constraint, a lot of departments and teams, they've just created like ad hoc solutions,
Hmm.
to just meet their needs. Or they have older solutions which they've not been able to upgrade because of budget constraint. So in the IT world, it's called like the IT debt, where you have a lot of IT systems which are outside the formal view of the IT department,
Hmm.
or which are so old, but because there is no money, you just continue to operate them
Exactly.
until they crash or they
Yeah.
crack. So a lot of these AI capabilities will help us address that IT debt, organizations have collected, and it's in trillions, the
Oh
amount of
yeah. Yeah.
investment which is needed to
Well,
upgrade.
and oh my God, Manoj, I think of the programs that organizations have gone down the path, and I was going to say people because it is the people in the organizations,
Mhm.
but I mean millions of dollars they've spent
Mhm.
on stuff that they just had to cut their losses at some point because
Yeah,
it just didn't play out. And so when you talk about that stuff, I think the potential
yeah,
for organizations to vet stuff before they start like just
yeah,
spending money like crazy on a potential solution. Yeah. No, I
yeah.
I think it's exciting. Welcome to the party, Steve. We didn't mean to
Thank
wake
you,
you up,
Michelle.
dude.
Thank you. We were taking advantage of some prime Memorial
Yeah, are
Day.
you having a
Uh,
blackout, Steve? We don't
I
see
know.
you.
It's
You're
like
like
the
in a dark
background is
room
very
somewhere.
dark,
all right, well
very dark.
let me fix
The
that.
power
I
outage.
I know.
AI has caused
I think it's
We
AI has
mood
caused
were
lighting.
power outage.
I think it's mood
we
lighting.
it was such a beautiful night last night. We were out literally riding around on a boat until
Nice.
10:15
Okay.
is when we finally pulled in the dock.
Well,
And then
that's
of course,
great.
yeah, and then but it was such a beautiful night, it just so worth it. And so anyway, it was a wonderful, of course, Memorial Day weekend, and it was
Yeah.
Nice.
fantastic. I mean,
So
yeah,
we see your virtual background. That doesn't help, dude.
yeah, I'm looking yeah, you know what?
It's good,
Um
Steve. Keep the original one. That's good. I
yeah,
like it.
okay, let me just do that. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
there.
I'm on a
So it's
different
just you
computer
actually
than
need
I
lighting. Okay, we're talking lighting. So what's
okay.
been going on with you in the AI space?
You know what? I've been experimenting some very cool capabilities that I just didn't really. I mean, one, I had to think through. So let me give you a couple of use
Oh
cases.
no, here we
Uh,
go. We're going into the depths of Steve's thought process. Go
all
ahead.
right, well,
Talk
okay,
to us.
Love it.
let me first start out with a statistic. I saw
Yeah.
that in the Google I/O event, Sundar Pichai, who's the CEO of Google, he was introducing their products, and one of the things he mentioned at the very beginning of his presentation is that we have seen in around from starting around like in April of last year, so 2024, there was about total usage of AI that they had measured was 9.7 trillion tokens.
Mm.
Today, it's up to 408 trillion tokens. So in a little more than a
In what
year,
period of time? Dailies,
a
you
little
said?
over a year, 50x increase in a little over a year. So that was
Wow.
that's just, it's believable, I guess.
So
But
Steve,
also
is that
down.
stat cumulative? Is it per day? Is it per
No,
week?
he said it was I think it was during the period. So I think what it was is April 2024, it was 9.7 trillion. And then in the end of this most recent month, it may have been April, because actually May has not
Wow.
been over.
50
He
times.
mentioned that it had gone up to 480. I mean, you can watch the event yourself, and he actually is
Wow.
talking about that. And he said
Okay.
we've seen a 50x increase in this short period of time.
Okay, I'm assuming it's cumulative. Okay.
I think it was, I think it's, I don't know, but it's 50.
Okay.
I think it's during the month of, I don't think it's, I think it's like if you
Well,
measure
you know what? For those who are wondering, because when people throw stats out, I actually want to know what it's grounded in, at what frequency.
yes.
We'll find out.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll
find
find
out.
out.
Yes.
But I don't doubt it when the CEO of Google says that
I'm
there's
not doubting.
50x increase
Yeah.
in the usage of AI in the
I
last
don't
year.
doubt it. We've seen it
So,
explode. It's just,
yeah, we've seen it
just
explode.
exploded. Yeah.
And personally, I can tell you about 2 use cases that I just, was thinking through. One we tried, the second one I may not have to do. But so one of them is in my job, we're selling a product to a large company, and we need to put together some product documentation quickly. And so after doing looking into different methods, one thing that I came up with was having the AI basically give me the commands that I can then feed to Azure DevOps command line interface to then export all the user stories in a structured JSON format, and then to write the documentation based on all these structured user stories. And then of course, I mean, it's a typical 10-80-10. 10% human input. You have to start the ball rolling, then let the AI do its thing. Then you got to have more human involvement, and then let AI do its thing. And at the end of the time, it's probably 10-80-10, where 10 is human to start the ball rolling. You have to do a good job in defining the parameters and everything. Then 80% is the AI, and then 10% is the human to tweak it and make needed adjustments. So that was one thing that I think looks very, very promising to save a lot of time. And then another thing that we actually tried out, my friend manages an off-road manufacturing company. And so we were looking for leads, how to get leads for someone on his team who could call. And anyway, so I had GenSpark, OpenAI, O3, and Google 2.5 Gemini. I gave them all the tasks to go out and get me a bunch of leads. I gave them a lot of parameters. And lo and behold, I got back and I said, give me the list in CSV. And I got back a very, very good list. And we're not done, because OpenAI said I had to create a mock-up of 50 or a prototype of 50 so we can make sure it's good. And then it said that it will work for 24 or 48 hours to give me the list of 500 plus that I requested.
In the background?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Over a period of up to 2 days, it said. It said up to
What version were you on, Steve?
03.
Okay, interesting.
Very impressive. I was yeah, so that opened, like I said, that opened my eyes.
So when you say good leads, did you qualify the leads, or you
to be
just think there was
clear,
a big list?
there are cold leads. They are not warm leads. Warm leads, by definition, a warm lead, it's someone who's you've interacted with.
Well, I do know the difference.
Right?
In the two.
Yeah. So yeah, but for people who don't know, right? Like maybe not everyone knows what a cold versus a warm lead is, right? And
Yeah.
you called them good, so that's what I was asking about.
they're good
what
in
makes
the
them
sense
good?
that they show retail, wholesale and retail stores that sell off-road
Yes.
equipment, right?
Yes.
So they're good from that point of view.
Okay.
And it's certainly a much faster and more complete than if you had a human do it. Because
Wow.
it was checking through all these sources. So I'll just say that opened my eyes.
Yeah.
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 Of
There's a
course.
lot out there. Yeah. There's a
Yeah.
lot out there.
Yeah.
And just
And
check
one
the
last thought. This is a thought I've been having more often lately, is I think like when you write a document, an ultimate, like a very strong expression of sloppiness is to not do a spell check. It's totally lazy, right? To not spell check your document because the tool is already there to just spell check it. Well, I think we're going to be entering in the not too distant future, even thinking errors. It's like not doing a spelling check if you're not at least using AI as a thought partner.
Okay
Yeah.
then.
That
All right.
comes the protocol.
Yeah.
So just on that statistic, I just checked. So it was for just the month of April.
Yeah, that's
last
what I said. That's what I thought. Yeah.
compared
No,
to
you
the
did. You
April
did
this
not
year.
know. You did not know.
I said I thought. Look, let's rewind the tape. Let's rewind the tape.
By the
Yep,
way,
yep, that's what it was. Yep, that's it. Yep.
but by the way, I want to share something that was interesting, just grabbed my eye recently. Actually, Zoom is now playing with creating their own avatar to be on the call. So they're trying to catch up with us, I guess.
Okay.
So, with Kai? With Kai?
They're doing something similar. Yes.
I love it.
So we have
I
our own
love it.
Kai.
I love
Yeah.
our little dude. Manoj, what's happening with you?
Yeah. So in terms of the Copilot update, sorry, Michelle.
You're good.
I think I already did my update earlier. So you're not
Oh,
going.
you did?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I talked about
How
the
did I miss that?
the
So
talent
Copilot.
shortage. Yeah.
So
Okay.
Copilot. So with me, we're working on the course. More and more, it's like it was the RFP, so request for proposal, that frickin' never ended, it felt like. And I had to be careful what I was sending out into the universe, because I'm like, oh my God, this needs to be done. But I had set up, and I think I shared last time that I set up a custom GPT that had, because I've been doing RFPs recently, that at least had the core information in it. And so because of these rounds of stuff that I've done, I've updated more stuff. And hot tip, maybe people already know it, if you go in and set up a custom GPT, check to make sure the parameters that you check are like that it'll do code and analytics, that it'll do web search, it'll do all that stuff, because what I found is they weren't checked. So I don't know if there was an update that unchecked them. So when you go in to do your custom GPT in the configure space, there's 4 boxes down the lower left. Make sure they're checked,
Yeah.
because otherwise, if they're not, chat will not access those tools.
Oh,
So
interesting.
I was doing some work in one of the ones that we
Thank
did
you.
for AICS, and Chad had come back with something. I'm like, why is this taking so long? And Chad said, a good question, because I don't have access to a tool. A tool that I need is unavailable. And I said, what tool is that? Python. I'm like, okay, so help me understand how I can get Python. So I went into the custom GPT and it was unchecked. It hadn't been. And I'm like, okay. So
Yeah, I had this same
realize,
experience this week.
yeah. So go check on
I'm
that.
gonna do that. Thank
Yeah,
you.
go check and make sure. So I went through with my other custom GPTs to make sure. So I don't know if it reverted in an update. So realize that I'm paying $20 a month for this functionality. And it costs someone a heck of a lot more than that for me to run what I'm running. And so I'm sure part of it is going to be, okay, like when you turn a light off in a room when you leave, it's that kind of thing. Well, we'll just shut this stuff off and then we'll see if you need it. So if for some reason it's not performing at the level that you're used to, go check that stuff on the GPTs. So anyway, I had that happen. The RFP, it was 5 rounds of updates that I had to go through. But had I not had AI, I would have bailed on like the second time around that they came back. And I'm like, I would have said, I'm out. Because it was at the 11th hour that I actually got key information. So imagine we're doing executive coaching and leadership development for this organization, this government agency. Only we don't know how many people, don't know how many leaders, but we do know the budget, and we do know how many hours that they're expecting that they get each month, right? So I know the hours they expect, and I know the amount of money they're willing to spend in the contract, but I don't know how many people. So this thing came back, this response, because they asked questions and they sent responses back. And so at the 11th hour, we're talking the morning of when the final thing had to be done. It's like they come back with how many leaders are talking about and the cadence they want this stuff done. And so with chat, I went in, I'm like, that doesn't seem doable. With chat, I went in and I'm like, okay, you can't do that. So it'd be nice that you want all this stuff, but it's like someone hadn't done the math. So I had to approach the RFP recognizing, I know you want this, and we're going to work within the contracted budget that you have, right? So if for some reason you want 10 leaders coached and only 5 show up, then it gives us more money to do manager cohorts over here or the workshops that you want. But you can't have all of it, but you don't want to say it that way. But literally I would have tagged out. I mean, if Chad had not been there, and granted, we went round and round and round.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that if you're a solopreneur or you're an organization that, like, I have affiliations with other coaches to be able to step in and do this work, like Steve said, or others, use it, tap in, Greg, the stuff that you're doing, all that, because the potential is there for you to be able to step in and do work that you hadn't thought of doing before, in different ways, because that thought partner is there, someone to help you get it over the line. Grant, I had to do a lot of iterations on things, and chat does hallucinate, but I couldn't have produced with consistency. So custom GPT for the information that stays the same, right? And set that expectation up with descriptions, and have chat ask chat, how can this be better? I think that's the other thing. And whatever AI you're working in, how can this be better? Manoj, what's on your mind?
So ChatGPT is the reason why Michele is sane today.
Yes. I'm telling you guys, I
It's a
would have
reason
tagged
for
out.
sanity.
There's no way I would have tagged out. I went, yeah, I'm done. I'm
It
done.
made me realize something, which is we're seeing and not seeing as well that AI has been a silent partner for the last while, for probably about 2 years. I guess it seems like we're trending toward the next few weeks, months or weeks, it depends. We don't know, maybe days. It'll be an active partner. So who can take tasks and everything till the end. So it's very interesting. We are living in an era that is very unique in human history.
It's
It
very
would be
unique.
interesting. What came to mind for me, if you take the RFP scenario with what you just said, is that I'm not being tapped by, because I'm not the primary in this stuff, I'm the secondary. But it would be interesting in that case for a proactive approach, Michael, to where I've got an agent out there looking for these opportunities, an agent in the terms of AI, and then
Yep.
coming to me going, hey, Michele, based on who you are, this would be a great match for you.
Yep.
And I'm sure
Yep.
that as I'm saying these words, that can already happen, right?
Yep.
I
We are there.
I just haven't set it up that way. But it would be interesting.
We are already there.
I'm not looking, but AI is out there searching for stuff that matches to what my business can do and what I'm set up to do.
This is something Mark Zuckerberg covered, the CEO of Meta covered in one of the interviews a few weeks, maybe months ago, where the future of ad is where AI will help will marry the buyers and sellers, so the sellers don't have to spend so much on advertising as they have today, and then hope that the buyers look at that ad at the right time, in the right situation, where what Meta will enable is get the buyers and sellers together at the right time, when they're looking for those.
Well, and Meta's wanting to pull all that stuff into their ecosystem. So it's like, you don't need a marketer to develop content. You don't need someone who's, we'll do it.
Correct.
So you're just going to go in there and say, this is what I want. And then it all happens within that ecosystem, which is brilliant from a business perspective.
Right. Yeah, it
absolutely.
makes
From
sense to
Meta.
try to cut out the
It is
middleman.
brilliant for good
Yeah.
businesses, yeah, who really offer good products, good
Yeah.
service.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, as long
that
as the
they,
stuff is good and it's not just, like, hi,
yeah.
we're a one-stop shop and we got crappy stuff over here. Yeah. So yeah, I
So
totally agree.
true. Yeah. People get trained now to customize and tweak that campaign on Facebook or any other social media so that way it's hitting the target market.
Mhm.
This
Yeah.
is not needed.
Yeah, that just,
Well, and
yeah.
you could do it, actually you could have with agents or AI do the adjustments internally. So you've got all your context, you have all your brand voice, you have all your branding, and if the ad is not hitting the right way, to be able to do tweaks based on what is hitting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's
Yeah.
what I think, having success stories, customer testimonials, customer reviews, feedback from the customer, because that is going to have so much more weightage going
Mhm.
forward than what the company is saying about their
Mhm.
products and services, is what other
Yeah.
customers have said.
Yeah. And you can
Uh,
tap it more real time. Yeah, it's going to be yes, we have to be responsible. Yes, we need to be aware of stuff. And
Mm.
yes, the opportunity it's exciting. It's exciting. So
It's
Manoj, you've got updates on Copilot stuff?
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely, Michelle. So before we go into Copilot, I just wanted to share a video I saw this morning. So this is only got published yesterday, but this is about a youngest billionaire, which has been made by AI. That this is a entrepreneur who dropped out of university and started a company with a co-founder, and his company was worth $1 billion when he was 20 years old. And then AI was like the big reason behind, sort
How
of
old is
getting,
he now? 22?
he's 24.
Oh, he's 24. Okay.
Yes. So absolutely a great interview. I think we're going to see more of these stories going forward, because AI gives us a very strong solution set. And now we need entrepreneurs who can identify big business problems and use AI to solve those problems, are going to be super successful, going forward. So I think we're going to see more and more stories like this. And they only have 40 employees. So it's not like, they have, $1 billion company with only 40 employees. And AI is one of the big reasons, AI and a lot of automation is one of the big reasons why they got to that. So just, search for this video name on YouTube and listen to this interview. It'll be, there are some good insights on how to build an AI-based business. But it's also a great
Well,
opportunity from a small organization perspective, that there's so much more small and medium organizations can do now with AI, which they were not able to do before.
oh yeah, scalability is scalability. And then I think you and I were chatting, it's the opportunity for a solopreneur. So this guy has a co-founder, right?
Yep.
But the opportunity for a solopreneur to go to $1 billion organization or $1 trillion organization because of AI capability. Yeah, it's amazing.
Amazing. Yes, absolutely. So the update on Copilot. So Microsoft has been rolling out various new updates, sort of throughout May. So the two updates I want to highlight is that there are two new agents they have added, which is available with Microsoft 365 Copilot. So this is the Copilot version targeted towards organizations, where the first agent is the researcher. So this is where you can ask it to do a deep research on any given topics. It's similar to the deep research functionality ChatGPT and Google Gemini had. So there's similar functionality now. And because Copilot is using ChatGPT in the backend, it's the ChatGPT deep research functionality is what is now available in Copilot, but with the added benefit that it can do deep research on your organizational data. Okay, because ChatGPT does
Nice.
deep research on what is available on the internet. Now you can do a deep research where it can look at all the files and data you have on the different websites, your OneDrive folder, your email folder. So you can now do a deep research, on that topic, where it can access internet data, but it can also access data from inside your organization. And then the big difference here is it takes about 8 to 10 minutes for it to complete a task. So you want to, so like in a bakery type of an example, you can use a task to say, okay, we're thinking of launching a new store, prepare a detailed project plan. I need to consider all the topics in terms of launching this new bakery store. So now that requires a little bit more deeper thinking than answering a simple question. And that would be a use case, where you can give the researcher agent that particular task, and then it'll look at all the external information, but also internal information that have we launched new stores in the past? Do we have documents? Do we have project plans around that? And it can go and then also utilize that information to perform that analysis. And then it takes about 8 to 10 minutes for it to then give you a comprehensive report, which, in real life could have taken days or weeks for an analyst to create those type of
Weeks.
yes.
Weeks.
To create. So this is the only AI tool where you can do deep research on your organizational data. So this is why we keep talking about Copilot, because all the other AI tools, yeah, they're great from an internet knowledge perspective, but it's still not very.
Well, you could just a qualification, right? So you
Yeah.
could do this same stuff with another AI tool. So you could do it with OpenAI. You could set up a custom GPT. You could load it with that information.
Correct.
But the convenience of this sitting on the entire ecosystem of what information you have within the org that you have access to is powerful. Yeah.
Yeah, that you don't have to go and identify, okay, what 5 documents I need to give. It can go and look at all the because you may miss out some documents.
Yeah.
Right.
Michael.
If you have to look for that.
Much more than that. If you already build your organization where, for example, the finance team would always dump their reports, the financial reports for monthly or quarterly into a certain folder, then you can extract any insights you want as just financially from all these data. And it's already, you have it in that folder, which is, and again, you can adjust permissions for who have access to that, right? And it's, oh, wow, I love this. Thank you, Manoj.
Yeah. So I think this deep research on internal, and of course, this also gives deep research is available in Copilot for the first time. So that was like a big gap in Copilot compared to ChatGPT and other tools. The second agent I want to talk about is the analyst agent. So this is where if you have a lot of Excel data in text files, CSV files, then you can upload that data and the analyst agent can then go and analyze all that and give you key insights. And you can create graphs if you have to create some analysis, reports on your sales data, on your finance data. Then doing that in Excel or other tools, would take a very long time, would require specialized skills. But all that now becomes very easy with the analyst agent, where you can upload an Excel file or multiple Excel files, and then the agent can do a lot of that thinking work. And then, based on the guidance, the human who's operating provides to that agent. So this is another significant capability where it uses, like ChatGPT, it also uses Python in the background for some of the advanced analysis. So this was available in ChatGPT. So the same functionality now Microsoft has made available in Copilot. So you can now also use this with all your internal data. So a lot more possibilities open up with these
So
two.
before, where we would have to say using Python, create, generate, whatever, we don't have to call it out with this. It's going to know in the background to tap in.
Yes.
That's cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. So those are the 2 updates. And then just before I hand over back to Michele, I just want to talk about the next course Michele and I will be teaching on Microsoft Copilot, where because we are recommending Microsoft Copilot as a safe AI tool to be used by small and medium organizations, we are also teaching a course. It's a 6-hour course happening on 10th to 12th June, where you can come and register, and we'll take you through step by step, right from the basics, and show and share all the different capabilities with a lot of hands-on practical exercise. So when you go back from this course, you will be able to start applying what you've learned to your real life day-to-day activities in your role. So we will add the link into the show notes, into the podcast notes. But please do consider, if you have access to Microsoft Copilot and you're looking to fast track that learning, then these concentrated 6 hours can help you fast track the learning at
It
least.
is, yeah. The thing I would add, it's 2 hours a day over each of the 3 days. You will also have handouts, so you'll have collateral that you'll walk away with to be able to practice, and
Nice.
it's recorded.
Mhm.
So you'll have access to that recording as well. So a lot of stuff, because it's not, I mean, I've been in a lot of classes to where you're just rapidly taking notes of everything, and you think your notes are clear, and then you get back and you're like, what did I mean when I wrote that? Uh,
And
so
we've had participants here who said, those dates don't work for them, but that's fine. If you still
yeah,
register, you can get a recording of the course. So you can
yeah,
then watch the recording. And we've had a few participants, who've registered in that mode,
yeah,
where they will watch the recording rather than attend the live training. So if the dates don't
agreed.
work, that option is available for you. Just register for the course and let us know, and we'll
Yep.
make sure you get the recording after the training.
We are flexible people. Um,
Yeah, get
I,
the skills out as soon as possible to as many people as possible.
yeah,
Again,
and it's just,
it,
let's just repetition, practice. Go ahead, Michael.
no, just want to clarify this, because I want to bring it up to everyone's attention, because Copilot stands as still a unique ecosystem where your private information and data can be held in that ecosystem, and then AI can be leveraged, which
Yeah.
is still unique till now.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and
It is
then
still the
there's
safest
partner
way.
products.
Yeah. Safest way to use AI with your corporate data, without having to do a lot of work, because of course, you can use other tools, but you'll have to do a lot more work with your IT team to add all that security layer, which,
The
a lot of
simplest, I would say.
organizations just wouldn't have the budget or expertise to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's what I'm excited about, because there's a lot of organizations that have Outlook and Microsoft 365, and employees have access to these tools, but don't necessarily know how to maximize.
Mhm.
So, and there's a lot of training funds in organizations. So this is one thing too, you'll get a certificate of completion. And so I encourage you, take a look. It's one that you're going to have real humans in the room to answer real human questions.
Yeah.
So it should
And
be
we've
fun.
really made it approachable. The fee is only $197.
Yeah.
We want as many professionals in the small medium organizations to benefit
Yeah.
from the training.
Yeah. Even people who aren't professional.
Yeah.
We just want people to benefit.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. I appreciate this time in the room with you guys. Greg, I cannot wait to hear more about the wine thing. So
We've
that
got bakery
excites me.
going. We've got wine going.
Yes, I'm excited. We got real
Party is
estate
set.
happening. Yeah, I'm excited. Well, I appreciate the time in the room with you guys. Until next time, this has been AI Because. Please like, share, subscribe. We will put the links in the description. And until next time, thank you.
We got the
Thank you.
spark in the
Bye, everyone.
circuits now. Slammies, listen, we'll show you how. A new wave rising, it's clear and loud. AI's the future, let's make you proud. Data and dreams combine in the air. From cloud to code, oh, we're everywhere. Innovation driving, we're breaking ground. With AI tools, let's turn it around. AI Because, we're powering your moves. Tech that's here for good, bringing all the moves.